Went on a walk today around the floor, so first time leaving my room since I got here, basically. Kind of tired, but it's supposed to be healthy to move around. Other than that, today's been kind of chill. Not, tired, stomach ache, a little nauseous, but not too bad. I just, we'll probably be here for another couple weeks though, because we're waiting for my immune system to come back. Now I'm still pretty high risk. So this is day +3 from my bone marrow transplant. Actually don't feel too bad today. Did some laps around the floor, took a shower. I think this is maybe a little bit in the calm, right? So I'm done with like the ACAM acute side effects, but a lot of the chemo and transplant side effects kick in, either this week or next week. So we'll see. The nurses made a comment like I still have all my hair. They think in a week or two, most of my hair will be gone. So stuff like that. I guess the chemo just has a more delayed response. The other thing is my counts yesterday, my neutrophil count, officially technically hit 0, which means that I don't have much of an immune system at all, And basically what's keeping me alive are like the antibiotics I'm getting, the antifungals, and all of my immune system is synthetic through these drugs.
The view from my hospital room window.
And I came in maybe 12 days ago or something, and in that time, I guess my blood pressure was low, so the nurses and doctors were giving me tons of fluids, and I actually gained 14 pounds in these 12 days of fluid weight. And today was the first day now that I'm back to the same weight that I came in. So it's kind of crazy, like your body just retains all this fluid, like my face was puffy, my arms were puffy, and then I was given medicine that helps kind of drain the fluid and stuff. But 14 pounds is quite a bit. This is day +5 or something. It's interesting. Yesterday, still not feeling so bad, so that's great. But when my platelets get below 10, I usually get a transfusion. That's like the standard, because below 10 you can kind of spontaneously start bleeding. But there's a platelet shortage in general. So actually they didn't give me platelets until the night, even though we were expecting to give them in the morning. So when my platelets are below 10, I also can't walk around in the hallways because I'm higher risk. So spent most of the time in my room. But it was just interesting to see kind of the true effects of a platelet shortage. So always encourage everyone to donate blood if you can. Hey, this is day +8 from transplant, and I'm starting to see some more of the side effects from the chemotherapy, which is what the doctors expected, that this week would basically be when the chemotherapy, more of the side effects kick in, like mouth sores and losing my hair. So this morning I have just been kind of brushing through my hair. If you know me, I actually don't brush my hair that often, so I am used to pulling out clumps. But I've been pulling out a lot of clumps. So I'll show you a little bit, or try to. So today I don't think, all my hair is going to come out, but I'm definitely pulling out clumps and clumps and clumps of hair. So I've been running my fingers through my hair for, I don't know, maybe over an hour now, which is somewhat normal just because my hair is so messy. But look how much hair came out. It's like a wig in itself. Kind of disgusting, actually. But it's just so much hair that's no longer on my head. Weird. But it does kind of make me feel better, actually. Before I even knew I got sick again, I donated about 15 inches. So this is actually my hair being short. Well, you can see after today and I took a shower, which lost quite a bit of hair in the shower. Really starting to thin out. So I think it's almost there. Losing my hair from this chemo. But yeah, I guess I have nothing else to say. I might start wearing hats or something. But yeah, we'll see.
Mouth sores from chemotherapy hurt. I have one on the very tip of my tongue, which makes it hard to talk and hard to eat. This is day plus 11 from transplant. Thanks for the visit, Melissa, and picking up my car from the hospital garage. So since I won't be driving for a long time, I'm keeping my car at Melissa's house.
I gotta tell you, yesterday was pretty rough. First, I was just really tired and my whole body was itchy. We're not sure why. And then in the evening, I had a nosebleed again. You know, me and those nosebleeds. So you can't tell, but they did put smaller packing in here that's actually will dissolve after a while, so it's a lot less painful. But I got the nosebleed at 6:30 p.m. It was like gushing blood, and we didn't get it fixed until like 12:30. There was literally a point where I said, I give up. You know, I was just so hunched over with all this blood, and yeah. But after a while, I got 2 bags of platelets, and it almost stopped on its own, which was great. I forgot to add, but on top of all that, was my mouth has all these mouth sores in it. So it hurts to talk right now. It hurts to eat. It hurts to swallow and close my mouth. So mouth sores are not fun, but they're giving me lots of like numbing medication and pain medication. So hopefully they'll be gone in a week or 2.
Me, at 9 p.m., being absolutely miserable from a nosebleed. I really sat there for like 6 hours with it bleeding. It was just a really long and annoying night. So glad that it's handled now. Also, hair update. The nurse said that we can shave the rest of it off tonight since I keep losing random bits and pieces all around the room and it's just making a mess. Feeling stubble on my head is weird, but this does look better than the random patchy stuff.
So I haven't been feeling well over the last couple of days. Finally starting to feel better because the nurses and doctors started giving me more medicine. I've had this like fever, and they noticed that my oxygen was really low. I was at like 85% oxygen. So we've tried a lot of different oxygen masks. It's a little difficult because for my nosebleed, I had packing. So on this side of my nose is all packed with to prevent nosebleeds. So we had to find a right sort of breathing device that would give me oxygen. And we tried like 4 different kinds. I have photos of each one. But the big issue was that a lot of them couldn't have added moisture, and it would just really, really dry out my nose and my throat. So this is the one we ended on. And actually, I like it because you can breathe through your mouth or breathe through your nose. And it's not as like stuck to your face as some of the other ones.
Doctors think I might have an infection, high fevers, difficulty breathing, overall just icky feeling, and I hope this one goes away fast.
I haven't posted in a while. Maybe the last like 5 days have just been kind of sick. Fever, stomach ache, throwing up, hard to breathe, and it's just been a little miserable for the last about 5 days. Finally, I don't have fevers anymore, so that's a huge win, but this hasn't been so fun. Kind of annoying / interesting part is we weren't really sure what's causing it. My white blood cells are up, my neutrophils are up, so at first they thought I got sick or something. Maybe I had pneumonia or caught like a cold. So we did lots of tests. We think that it's more maybe engraftment, so actually just side effects from the white blood cells growing in my body, in addition to having lots of fluid around my lungs.
just because I've been getting so much fluid from different medicines and things like that. So we're trying to get the fluid out. In turn, which is frustrating, we can't get too much fluid out because now my kidneys are having some elevated levels that aren't good. So it's kind of a balance between my lungs and my kidneys and all this blah blah blah. I will say that when I first started to feel not well, the doctor came in and said, "Look at your counts, they're so much better, you should be feeling better than ever." And I said, "I feel miserable." And he said, "But look at your numbers, you should feel better than ever." And I said, "Well, I don't, I feel much worse than last week." And then he just walked away. And then that night, my fever got to 102, and finally, people started listening about why I feel so miserable. So that was this whole frustrating point in my time. But yeah, still, at least it eventually got handled.
Day plus 20. So the doctors think I have a partially collapsed lung, elevated kidney levels, and bowel issues, 7 pounds of excess fluids. Not the happiest camper, but feeling better than a few hours ago. Typically, per my blood count numbers, I would be able to go home, but because of my lung and kidney, I am staying longer in the hospital.
So, moving to the new hospital started today. I'm just about ready. I haven't been moved yet, but my bed is facing the door here. They gave me a little packed lunch just to not have to mess with all of the food during the time. So, let's see how it goes.
Great morning view from the new hospital room. Also thinking I haven't been outside since October 1st, which is about over a month now.
So for a while, the doctors have been like, "Oh, you're gonna go home soon, you're gonna go home soon. We just have to fix your partially collapsed lung and your partially failed kidneys. But it's gonna be soon." And we were really hoping that I'd go home today, but actually, instead of my numbers going down for my kidneys, they went up. So not going home today or tomorrow probably. But it's interesting. I think today is day plus 24 from transplant. A lot of people who have smooth transplants go home on like day 20, but that's okay. I'm in this nice new hospital room now, and I feel okay, so I'll appreciate the free food and stuff. Oh, this morning I felt pretty good. I filmed a whole video on my morning routine in the hospital, but actually it's not going to be much of a morning routine anymore because the doctors think that tomorrow morning I can leave and then go to the Airbnb that I got for myself, my mom, and my stepdad. So, change of scene, I guess. Tomorrow will be plus 27 from transplant date, and I think 34 days in the hospital total. My kidneys actually aren't like better yet, but they decided that it could take months for my creatinine level to go down. So they're just gonna monitor it outpatient. And my lungs are better. They're not fully there yet. I still have trouble breathing sometimes, but much, much better than they used to be. Personally, I was just kind of getting used to being in the hospital, especially in this new room, getting my routine, having food served to me, and I kind of like it here, actually. But, it's important that there's, open rooms for new patients that are really needed to be here, and it's also important for me to, go to the next stage, which is kind of being around caregivers instead of being in the hospital. And in this stage now, we're just trying to make sure I don't get sick, and we're looking for any graft versus host disease, which typically occurs within the first 100 days.